If you thought the villains in Reacher's third season were terrifying, you might want to brace yourself.
Oops.
We all saw Reacher get pushed to his physical brink. A mountain of a man, fists flying, bones crunching. But what if the next threat isn't someone he can just outmuscle? What if the show unleashes a villain so cunning, so manipulative, they can take Reacher apart without ever throwing a single punch? Today, we're looking at why the real terror might still be on its way. Season 3 was all about physical intimidation. For 2 seasons, let's be honest, Reacher felt almost untouchable. Villains needed numbers and serious firepower just to make him break a sweat. Then, Season 3 gave us Paulie, played by the 7'2" bodybuilder Olivier Richters. Paulie was the first bad guy in the series who felt genuinely insurmountable. This was a man who made Alan Ritchson's Reacher look average, a behemoth who knocked Reacher down with what looked like a casual slap in their first encounter. Paulie wasn't just big, he was a monster, a bodyguard with a history of extreme violence that made him a true physical threat. The season was defined by this brutal, head-on conflict. It set a new benchmark for physical danger in the series. But that's exactly why the show is about to pivot, brilliantly. So, what happens when the enemy doesn't meet you on the battlefield but messes with your head instead? That's the question many fans think Season 4 will answer, especially since it's now confirmed that the show will be adapting Lee Child's novel Gone Tomorrow. For the first time, the series will likely break its tradition of purely physical male antagonists and introduce a new breed of villain, Svetlana and Lila Hoth. And their main weapon isn't a fist or a gun, it's deception. In the book, this dangerous pair initially presents themselves as victims. They spin a story so convincing that they get Reacher on their side, luring him into their web before he even realizes he's the prey. This is a complete flip of the Reacher formula. He's a human lie detector, but these women are masters of manipulation. They are ruthless terrorists in the source material, capable of brutal acts to intimidate their enemies. This psychological element brings a fresh and terrifying dynamic. Reacher's fists can't do much against a perfectly told lie. If you're as hyped as I am to see him tackle a psychological war, make sure you're subscribed. We'll be breaking down every detail when it drops. So why is this new kind of threat so much more terrifying? Because it gets under Reacher's skin, in a way no one has before. Paulie could hurt his body, but the Hoth women could poison his mind and dismantle his world. Their methods are sneaky. They won't just try to kill him, they'll try to frame him, turn people against him, and ruin his reputation. A physical threat is something Reacher can meet head-on. But you can see a punch coming. You can block it. But how do you defend against someone who's already inside your head? Svetlana and Lila represent a threat that could trap Reacher in a prison of his own paranoia. While past villains challenged his fighting skills, the Hoths will challenge his identity and his code. Their cold-blooded nature, combined with their genius for manipulation, makes them scarier than any giant. It could elevate the series from a top-tier action thriller to a dark, intense psychological game of cat and mouse. Season 4 won't just be about surviving a fight, it will be about surviving a perfectly crafted nightmare. Season 3 tested Reacher's body, with a terrifying villain like Paulie. But Season 4 is set to unleash a far more chilling reality. The deadliest enemies are the ones you never see coming, the ones who break you down from the inside. The move from brawn to brains, from a fistfight to a mind game, promises to be the most intense and gripping chapter in Reacher's story yet. But now I have to ask you, what kind of villain do you find more terrifying for Reacher, the physical giant or the master manipulator? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.